Text me that.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, there we go.
Go ahead and sign in. But if the, yeah, I would just divide it. Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
One nation.
So we're gonna get the meeting started tonight discussing the rental agreement. So we have an ordinance that states we spend 20 minutes on one topic. So we are going to see how many people want to speak, and then we're going to allot that based off of 20 minutes of time. So if you're here to respond to the rental agreement, please raise your hand. We'll keep it up, please. We're going to need to get a count. I got 9. Okay, so we have 9 people. So how many minutes does that give us? That's
2 minutes. You might just give them like 3 minutes each.
Give everybody 2 minutes and a few seconds. 6
So
seconds.
we're just gonna go with,
Yeah, give them all 2 minutes and 6 seconds. We'll get a lot done in this.
we're gonna go with 3 minutes each. Thank you.
You can't do that. The thing is.
So Holly, can you keep the time? We're just gonna start here. I'm just gonna go across the room. So starting at the front left, if you wanna come up and state your name and say what you have to say about the rental agreement. When the timer goes off, we're gonna cut off.
Okay, my name's Eric Hurst, Sidetrack Proceeds LLC. We own 2 of the project housings, as you want to call it. I see you guys want to redevelop it. What do you want to redevelop it into? You want to bring it up to code. What code are you? I'm versed in electrical code. I'm not going to go through all the codes, but Indiana runs off a 2017 electrical code. So are we going to come up to 2017 or are you going to come up to 2026? National Electric Code changes every 3 years. Your inspections every 5 years. Am I going to upgrade my buildings every time you inspect it?
So
You got
this
2
is,
minutes.
yeah, so this is comments. They're not required to answer questions during them.
That's
So,
fine.
yeah, all right. So you have concerns about the inspection.
I have concerns about what upgrades you and how often you're going to make me do these upgrades. It's money in my pocket. You said you 15 days or something to get it fixed, and you're going to charge me $500 a day for a fee or whatever. Have you ever tried to get an electrician to come to your house and appraise something? Have you ever tried to get them to come out and actually do the work in less than 15 days? Have you ever talked to a contractor? Have you worked with any of these people? They're not that fucking fast. It's going to cost me a buttload of money. I'm almost going to evict my people and just open the doors and go get 50 of the people that are homeless down there in Madison and say, hey, man, there you go. Have you somewhere to stay? No, you go ahead, man. I gotta go back to work. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else here in the front row on this side?
I'm Stephanie Back, and we own a rental home here in town. And I was at the last meeting when what was briefly explained to me was that the purpose of this ordinance was to kind of keep track of like how many rental homes you have in the area versus property ownership. It wasn't until I read the ordinance in the newspaper afterwards that I kind of have some questions, I guess. To me, this seems like it's maybe holding rental homeowners to a different standard than like regular homeowners. And so my husband and I maintain the property and we feel like we keep it in good condition, but there are other people in town that maybe own a home and they are not being held to the same standard is what it feels like to me. I'm not in a position where I'm renting a home, but I would feel like if I did rent a home, it would feel maybe a little bit like invasion of privacy to me. And so I just kind of wanted to speak up for the people that are in that position. And I was also curious, like from just kind of like a community member standpoint, like has this been kind of approved by, like, I noticed that the fire department, like, could have to be involved in, inspecting some of these homes. And so are they okay with that? Like, is the county health department like okay with being involved in this ordinance? I mean, do they have the capacity to kind of help with these things? And then another question I had was just about like the property manager, like how do you define what a property manager is? Like we have an LLC, for example. So, I mean, does that qualify that, we're exempt or not? So those are some questions that I had. Thank you.
Well, we have kind of already, we only have 20 minutes per topic, so we've already had people that are signed in and we've separated. Yes.
Are you Lynn Letterman?
I am.
I am sorry about your dad, and it would be very helpful if we had people that we could reach out to, who would be able to answer questions that we have generically. I sent a question to the email and no response, never opened.
Okay.
I'll give my 3 minutes up, she can have mine.
No, that's fine.
No, that's
No. I just have some concerns.
Can you come up and give
Yeah,
us
my
your
name is Sarah Emery. Me and my husband Donnie Emery own a rental property in town that we more or less let our children live in. And that, we're not making money off of this realistically, but technically we are a rental property home.
Mhm.
Suddenly we're going to be held to the standard that someone else expressed very notably. That's a much higher standard than what any homeowner in this community is being held to. What I don't quite understand is what the purpose of this is. I did read the ordinance. I am an attorney and I am capable of understanding quite a bit. But what I saw in the ordinance purposes where you wanted to, for some reason, you think that if there are too many rental homes in a community, that's damaging to the town. I don't see how having a registration is going to alleviate that problem. I don't see how it's rationally connected to that purpose. I also saw that there was a concern about you might have rundown homes in the town and that would be driving down property values. Again, that's a problem that's every home. That's not just rental homes. And I don't see how establishing something where only rental homes have to be evaluated, how only rental homes are being subject to a standard is actually achieving the purpose that you want. I can understand having concerns about, having to have a tenant speak up and say something for fear of retaliation or something like that. There are laws that protect tenants and things like that from discrimination from things. You might want to consider that, but I just don't understand from an attorney perspective how what your purposes that are set out in that ordinance are at all accomplished by what you're doing in the ordinance. It seems very disconnected from that. I know it's a low standard of only has to be rational basis, but the ordinance doesn't seem to lay out a rational basis for how what you said are your purposes are being achieved by what you're doing. I'm hearing that Lynn is, and again, I'm very sorry about your dad. I hear that she is laying out, that you don't have to answer, you don't have to say anything. But I do think you've got a room full of people who have concerns. This is our time. You represent us. And the fact that you're unwilling to answer or respond to things that people are saying is not representation. I think you guys owe us better than that, just to be honest with you. A little bit disappointed. That's a good thing. Like, it's someone who reached out both to the attorney, and I understand there's an urgent, urgent personal circumstances, but I then reached out to the town, and I still haven't gotten a response. And that's with me having a law firm email address. I would think it would come back quicker, that someone would have said something. And when I can't get any response on it, something you guys have already apparently passed, I just don't understand that.
It's communist,
Okay.
is what it is.
Thank you. Do we start in the back row? Anyone in the back row?
I'm Randy Buckland, I've got apartments here in town, and what I would like to know is, how come the public wasn't aware of any of this before this all even got passed? That's just not right, and I've been a managing man for 10 years. I've got renters over there and I told them about what they, that they wanna come in and inspect. Well, they don't wanna be in my home. This is my home.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna let nobody in my house and I live out of town, but there ain't nobody coming in my house. Why should they let us go into the rental? That's their home. It's not right. And then you guys make these rules. We're not involved. We're the one on it, not June's.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start here in the front. If there's anyone,
My question about the ordinance,
Can we get your name, please?
huh?
Your name, please?
Rodney Sellers. If you have a manager, you don't have to have all the inspections. If you're a big corporate buying apartments and stuff like that, if you're a corporate or anything like that, you're not subject to all these inspections. Isn't that what it says? If HUD or somebody like that inspects it, well, I mean, HUD inspectors, there's one HUD inspector for 1,000. They're not gonna do this. This is a reference on the small businessman that we all want to protect in this community.
I'm Sandy Pickett. I want to know what part of Indiana code says you're allowed to have personal data and information of individuals that we rent to. That is not part of Indiana code from all my research that I can tell. Where is this information going to be stored that's private? How's it going to be secured?
Who's the plan director?
And I just feel like this has been done too fast. I don't see I want to see the data to back it up from your research. This is going to cause a chain reaction that you don't understand. The money that's going to cost for these units alone is a staggering, and the paperwork and the administration fees.
Oh.
It's all going to be passed to the renter. The rental rates are already skyrocketing. The only rescue for a building in trouble after you've attached all your fines is going to be to sell it. And then we got to disclose as agents, hey, wait a minute, can't sell that. I don't want for sales. For sales is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So you've got to get it together and stop this before you wipe out everything that I've worked for 20 years in this town and volunteered and everything. And I've lost every bit of what I want to do here because of this, because it's wrong. We can't find the Indiana code. And the fact that it was just slid under the door, we were told to leave last meeting, that the meeting was done, and then it was voted in, and while we all stood out on the sidewalk. This isn't cool, it's not great, it doesn't make me feel good, and I want to feel good here.
anyone else in the front here? Raise their
You
hand.
don't have to take any accountability.
Okay, this is an official meeting, so we need to conduct ourselves in the proper manner, please. Who's the next to speak in the back row?
My name's Steve Gimmer. First question I have, I can answer it. Do you know what the fourth bill of right is? You walk in someone's property without a warrant, you can be shot dead. That's a fact. You have no business going in anybody's property, whether they're renters or residential, without a warrant. I suggest you read it. Second thing is, what gives you the right to fool with people's property? It's their personal property. Did you pay for it? If you helped it, all you do is tax it to death. You people tax everything to death, then you turn around and make it so it's not worth anything. How do you do that? How do you sleep at night? That's communism in the worst sense there is. New York's going through the same thing you're doing. New York City's doing the same thing you guys are doing. Think about that. We're in the Midwest, and you're doing this? I don't understand it. I don't understand what you think you're going to do. If you're having a problem with certain individuals, their properties run down, you go there and do something with it. Why do you punish their whole crew? That is so socialism. That's so democratic. Democrats, I'm sorry, not democratic. You know, one person does something wrong and you want to take and punish the whole world. That ain't how it works. You punish the people that's wrong. But you better look up, and you're a lawyer, you better look up Fourth Bill of Rights and Fifth Bill of Rights, because you are treading on them. And you have no right to do that. You know why they're called the Bill of Rights? The founding fathers made it clear. The Bill of Rights are not from man. Man did not give them to you. They were given to us by God, and man cannot take them away. That's what the first 10 things are called, Bill of Rights, not amendments. So I suggest you all think this out. I know you already passed it, and like she said, you wait till we all left last week, and then you passed it. You told us you were done. You all lied so bad. It's pathetic. You're nothing but a bunch of liars, and that's what communists are. And I'm telling you, it ain't gonna happen. If we had to get a bunch of people together and raise enough money, I mean, let's do it and dance.
I'm Jim Busty. You realize there's like 2,160 people in for sales. If I got a petition and got everybody to say that you guys need to resign, how many signatures would you be happy with and all of you resign? 500, 1,000, 1,200? By the next meeting, if I get 1,800, will all of you resign? Roxanne's not here, so she can't answer, and I guess you guys won't talk anyway. But most of the people are against this, and especially when they know about it. And the other problem I have, every meeting I went to, I've asked, who's paying for this and how much is it costing? Nobody's ever said, where's the money coming from to pay for all this? Because it's coming out of somebody's pocket. And I don't think we should be spending money to hurt the citizens of Versailles. You know, I have no animosity towards any of you guys. I never even knew you to come to these meetings, but this is wrong. And it was wrong when you signed it in when we were all standing outside. Terribly wrong. And that is communism. That's all.
Anyone else on this side of the room in the back?
I'm Rebecca Gunner. We own property on Michael Street. We are property owners who have invested in our own money, time, and effort into our rental property. We want to be good landlords and absolutely agree that rental property should be safe and properly maintained. If there is a legitimate safety concern and the property is not being maintained, we support addressing it. The concern is how the ordinance proposes to do that. First, the concern about privacy. These aren't just rental properties. These are people's homes. Having someone come into the tenant's home is a significant intrusion. Both the property owner and the tenant deserve to know exactly who will be coming into their home. The qualifications, the training will these inspectors have? Will they undergo a criminal investigation or a criminal background check before they're allowed into these people's occupied homes? What happens once the inspector's inside? If an inspector sees something that has nothing to do with the condition of the property, what happens? What information are they allowed to report? What protections did the tenant have? And what prevents a routine property inspection from turning into something beyond an inspection of the property itself? Then there's the financial impact. We aren't large corporations. We're small town property owners that are investing in our local community. The rent we collect goes towards mortgages, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and other expenses. The ordinance adds additional costs for the inspection, which could also result in additional expenses. These costs don't just disappear. It's the cost. Rent will eventually have to go up. The renters in the community are already struggling to afford housing. If rental properties become more expensive and less available, what alternatives do these families have? What does every rental property needing to be inspected when there isn't a complaint or a documented problem? If the town receives a legitimate complaint or has reason to believe there is safety code violation, why can't that property be inspected then? We are asking the board to consider whether inspections can be triggered by an actual concern rather than requiring every rental property to undergo the same process.
Is there anyone else over here that was?
My name's Ryan Flint. I own a couple properties here in Versailles. Obviously, I'm one of the younger people in here with this come forward. And I just want to say that it's hard enough for, as a younger person, to come up in this world. We're fighting inflation and taxes keep rising. Property values keep rising. It's harder and harder to make a living. You know, this ain't making it any easier on anybody else. I mean, there's a lot of people in here that have supported this community and are going to continue to support this community with the money that they've made and keep reinvesting it. And doing this is just going to turn them off. So, I mean, there's millions of dollars in tax revenue right here in this building that's been made by these few people. So, I think that's something to think about.
That's why young people are moving to Kentucky.
Okay, so
Discussion last night.
thank you for your comments. Thank you everyone for being here and sharing your feedback. That was what the intention was, so we appreciate that. We do have plans to look at revisions on the rental agreement.
Would you guys just throw it out? Start over?
So what we're this is an official meeting, so let's please conduct ourselves appropriately. We are going to entertain a motion to suspend the effective date and further review the rental agreement to make revisions.
I'll make a motion.
I'll just second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we will revisit revisions on this topic next month.
Will you let us know when on paper or something and doing it without everybody knowing it?
Is there a way to see what the revisions are proposed to be before the meeting and get that circulated so people can actually look at it, review it, and then come prepared with comments on what the revisions are before you guys vote on it again?
I'll let you.
It might be possible. It depends on what happens. So they might get more feedback next month and we might table it.
But it's harder if you don't have a chance to read what the ordinance is, right, to give feedback.
I understand that. I'm just saying that I don't know that next month they'll be voting on one. It
And
might be
that's
more
fine, if you're
discussion
not
on.
voting on it before people have a chance to see it,
Right.
then I think that's fair, but that seems like democracy, if you have a chance to actually look at something before people just vote.
And you are able to call town hall to get copies.
I've not had success with town hall.
Okay, understood.
So that is all the time for that. We're gonna move on to the zoning ordinance. At this time, we are still working on revisions. We presented it again last week to the Area Planning Commission. And based off of feedback that we received at that meeting, we are still working on further revisions to that ordinance as well. We were talking about that one.
We had that on the agenda, but that's probably, was there anybody here
Okay,
that
was there anyone that
on that
wanted
topic?
to?
Okay, so then you can just ask for any topics.
Okay, so are there any other topics other than zoning and rental agreement that anyone's here to speak on? Okay, go ahead and come forward.
I'm Carrie Johnson. I'm here on behalf of Versailles Lions Club and the Versailles Pumpkin Show to ask the town permission to use the streets around the Versailles Courthouse for the Pumpkin Show rides, entertainment, and parade. The date of the Pumpkin Show this year is the 23rd through the 26th. We would also like to ask permission to use the town hall again for the King and Queens to meet in on Wednesday evening. I believe they meet in here about 6 and 6:45. Also, in the past, the town has been nice enough to provide dumpsters for our trash person to put trash in. And then for the street department to flush the hydrants behind the Historical Society and across from the Lions Club building for use for the water for the vendors.
Make a motion.
Oh, and the rest at the Pocket Park. I knew there was something else. Restrooms for the Pocket Park, and we do have somebody cleaning the courthouse bathrooms, which would always clean these, but then to figure out between the pumpkin show and the town that would provide the paper products.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'll make a motion on it.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anyone else that has any topics they want to bring forward? Okay, then we will conclude, public comments. Moving on to our, meeting minutes, our department reports. Do you want to share the fire? Thank you.
Did pass the financial issue pass this week, we looked at the other question about that. So far, the department's responded to 397 calls this year. Responded to 62 calls in July, responded to 15 so far in August. Some of the highlights from the months we made. Gas leak, quick fix, pretty severe allergic reaction with 6-year-old little boys. Our firefighters did an excellent job. Family was waiting for us to all jump from that. We had to wait for a while. We did have 2 CPR calls in town, small fire, 4 drive, 5 vehicle accidents, electrocution. One incident, Tyson man was smoking in an apartment. We did have this Holton fire with a hazardous materials incident in West Mateo on Michigan Road. And then probably the toughest one they had to deal with, 2-year-old little boy and a 3-year-old little boy basically overdosed and got stuff in the house. Our firefighters had to work for about 1 minute before they would go. That was all.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. We appreciate you guys. We've looked at the streets and utilities, the code enforcement, community develop reports. So I'll make a motion to accept those along with the meeting minutes from last month as they are.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so old business, we have Mr. Zran is here.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry I was unable to come the last 2 meetings. I had to go out of the country. My brother-in-law passed away unexpectedly, so yeah, it's been a little rough. So, but I want to let you know, keep on working. I'm still working on the proper, like I told you last time, all the doors and windows being replaced. So I'm keeping it nice and neat. All the grass is cut. Anytime we have any debris coming out of the construction, I'm making sure I bring a dumpster, clean it up, so it's not looking trashy there. So all the floors in the whole building they're all fixed now, okay, like they were seeping in. So there is no part of the building which is not safe. So it's all done. Still making small progresses. So recently we had to redo the roof because we had a little storm damage to it. Still working on it. I keep on coming here every meeting and keep on updating you guys. So, hopefully in the next couple of months, it should be getting pretty close to being done.
Okay.
Okay. So, but in the property right now, there is nothing unsafe. Like before, the floors were seeping in. First, I was working on the middle 2 apartments because we got them completely out. There was nothing left. So we rebuilt the whole thing. And then the side 2 apartments, so all the floors and everything's fixed in there as well. So still working on some plumbing and electrical things like that. So it should be in code pretty soon. So wanted to let you guys know that. But I'm sorry I couldn't make it the last time or the month before. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
So Lynn, you have an update on the firing range contract renewal with the Indiana State Police?
So I've been working with the attorney from the state police to try to come up with an easier way than the 18-page contract that was submitted for a lease that really doesn't require any payment. We thought we could do this through an easement instead of a contract, which is a little bit of a different legal document. It does basically the same thing, but because it's easement versus a lease or a contract, we can cut through some of that red tape. So I have sent to you the proposed easement with comments from the state police council so that you knew what they added to it, which really wasn't much. I think they took out some small things too. So you can either approve that tonight if you're comfortable with it, or you can wait till next month with when Roxanne's here. But it basically is the same terms as what you've been operating under. It does have a provision in there that releases, I know that was some concern, releases from people who might be using it who aren't employees of Versailles or the state police. The waivers of liability.
How do you feel? You wanna wait or you wanna do it now?
I'm fine if you, it's up to you. I read it.
I mean, I think that we're all okay with it. So I'll make a motion to accept. Or, right?
Okay, a motion second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then you've got the wastewater
Right.
agreement for the
So-
DNR.
Right, so it's time to review the contract that we have with DNR for their use of the town's wastewater. We have a meeting scheduled for, I believe it's Monday next week with them, so I'll be able to update you more next
Okay.
month.
Okay. And the last item for old business is the park board that we are working to reestablish. I understand we've got some people
I've got a
on
few
board.
people that's on board, but I need about 5 more people.
Okay,
So I'm still working on that, so hopefully by next month.
we'll have some more.
Mhm.
Okay. We did want to give a thank you to Billy Collins, who took down the bent basketball goals at Pangburn Park and welded them. He touched them up and made them look really nice again and put them back up. So we wanted to say thank you to him for taking care of that for us. And I think that's all, right? Josh, you
Nothing.
you have nothing? Anybody else have anything? Want to do your thing? Make your
Need a motion? I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well,